Today, we're talking about how to stop overthinking, and it's easier than you think. Overthinking feels like your brain is stuck on a loading screen from 2006, just endlessly spinning and spinning. No progress bar, no explanation, just vibes. Bad ones. You replay the same conversations, the same worries. It's always the same pattern. You're in the shower replaying something you said 3 days ago. In the car, arguing with someone who isn't there. At night, staring at the ceiling like it's going to give you answers. And the worst part? Your brain feels busy, but nothing actually gets solved. The same imaginary disasters that haven't happened and probably won't, but your brain insists on rehearsing anyway. Like, what if I said the wrong thing? What if they hate me? What if this one small mistake somehow ruins my entire future? And again, the worst part? None of this thinking ever gives you an answer. It just makes you tired. So today, I'm gonna give you one simple mental model that helps you immediately recognize why you're overthinking, and more importantly, how to stop. No vague advice, no just be present, no have you tried breathing? Just a clear, practical way to shut down mental spirals before they hijack your entire day. People love to say, you're just thinking too much. Wow, groundbreaking. But overthinking isn't about thinking too much, it's about thinking without direction. Overthinking happens when your brain is trying to solve a problem without the right information, without clear boundaries, and usually without any authority whatsoever. Yet it's extremely confident. Your mind keeps looping because it doesn't know where to place the thought. Overthinking feels productive because it looks like thinking, but it's not problem solving. It's fear disguised as analysis. Your brain keeps spinning because it thinks, if I just think harder, I'll finally feel safe. Except it never works. Because clarity doesn't come from more thinking, it comes from direction. So it just keeps searching for pieces that don't really match the picture of your puzzle. And here's the important part. Overthinking is not a sign that you're weak. It's not a flaw. It's actually a sign that your brain wants resolution. It just doesn't know how to get. That's where the mental model comes in. Whenever you're overthinking, every thought you're having belongs in one of 3 buckets. That's it. 3. Not 17, not a flowchart, not a personality quiz. Just 3 buckets. Bucket 1, things you can control. Bucket 2, things you can influence. Bucket 3, things you cannot control. And the reason this works is because your brain loves simplicity. 3 categories is enough to feel structured, but not overwhelming. Any more than that, and your mind turns it into a philosophy debate. Any less, and it feels vague. 3 is the sweet spot. And here's the rule that changes everything. Like I said, your brain doesn't need a 17-tab spreadsheet. If a thought is not bucket 1 or bucket 2, it automatically goes into bucket 3. No debate, no appeal process, straight to the mental recycling bin. Let's break them down. Bucket 1, the control bucket, is everything you actually have power over. Your actions, your choices, your effort, your habits, your responses, what you say next, what you do next. If a thought lands here, your job is simple. What is one action I can take right now? Because here's the thing nobody tells you. Overthinking stops the moment you do something. And notice, the action doesn't have to be big. It can be sending one email, writing one sentence, taking one note. Doing something small tells your brain, we're moving. And movement kills spirals. Action gives your brain an exit ramp. Thinking is only helpful if it leads somewhere. Otherwise, it's just anxiety wearing a trench coat pretending to be logic. Bucket 2, the influence bucket, is where things get tricky. These are things you don't fully control, but you can affect. Your reputation, how clearly you communicate, how prepared you are, how likely something is to go well. You don't control the outcome. You control the odd preventable disasters. Bucket 2 can be sneaky. So the question here becomes, what is the smartest move I can make? And then let go of the rest. That second part matters a lot because overthinking loves to camp out in bucket 2, pretending it's doing something useful, when really it's just refusing to accept uncertainty. Preparation? Helpful. Rehearsing the same scenario 47 times? Not. Do what you can, then let it go. Unfortunately, letting go is the hard part, but it's also the most important part. I know what you're thinking. Don't skip it. Bucket 3, the no control bucket, is where most overthinking lives rent-free. These are things you have zero control over. The past, other people's thoughts, other people's decisions, how someone interprets your tone, hypothetical disasters your brain invented at 2 a.m., the multiverse, asteroids. If it's in bucket 3, the solution is brutally simple. Drop it immediately. Your brain hates bucket 3 because it wants certainty. And when certainty isn't available, it keeps checking, like refreshing a page that will never load. But learning to drop bucket 3 thoughts is a skill. Not ignoring them, not suppressing them, just refusing to engage. Not because it doesn't matter, but because thinking about it gives you nothing in return. It's like pouring emotional energy into a black hole and expecting clarity to come back out. It won't. Here's why this model works so well. Overthinking is chaotic. It feels like trying to organize your closet during a tornado. Categorization creates order. The moment you ask, which bucket does this belong in? Your brain switches from panic mode to sorting mode. And something weird happens. The spiral slows down. Because now your brain has instructions. It knows what to do with the thought instead of just screaming internally. You're not suppressing the thought. You're placing it. And placement creates relief. Let's make this real. You text someone, they don't reply. Your brain immediately goes, I was annoying, they hate me, they're drafting a detailed speech about my flaws. Okay, let's break it down. Their response? No control bucket, not in your control. Your next message? Control bucket, you control your communication. Being clearer or more intentional next time? Influence bucket, you can influence future outcomes. Another common one, what if I choose the wrong path? The future? That's the no control bucket. Your next step? That's your control bucket. Preparing instead of panicking? Your influence bucket. You don't need to solve your entire life today. You just need to take the next controllable step. This is how the spiral dies. Here's a quick technique that ties everything together. Anytime you feel yourself spiraling, pause. Label the thought. This is a bucket 3 thought. Redirect. What is a simple control bucket action I can take right now? That's it. Just 10 seconds. No journaling, no mantras, no spiritual awakening required. Just a mental redirection. It's basically a friendly slap for your brain. You won't get this perfect. Your brain will still spiral sometimes. That's normal. The win is catching it earlier each time. Overthinking makes you feel powerless. But the truth is, you were never meant to control everything. You're only responsible for a small, manageable slice of your life. And once you stop trying to manage the rest, your mind gets lighter, quieter, sharper. Now you feel empowered. So next time your thoughts start spiraling, remember, sort them, place them, let them go, and move forward. And remember, if you want more simple mental models, with a side of sarcasm, you know where to find me. I'm Nora with Cleverly Unbroken. Thanks for watching.